Now it's official. We're being recorded. So once again, what are you guys seeing out there in the field? What's happening? What sort of objections are stumping you right now? Oh, come on. Either you guys aren't having any objections. You're that good, or you're not talking to people.
I would say anything pertaining to buyers. I've mainly been handling listings. So now my buyer skills, I think, are slacking.
Okay. What sort of challenges are you having with buyers, Whitney?
I don't know. I'm so used to not having patience because I'm dealing with listings. So I need to go back to the basics.
Okay. So let's get a little more specific. What specifically would you like to cover?
I don't know. You just asked what the issue was, so I was hoping somebody else had something.
All right. So who wants to sit with Whitney on a 5-minute initial consultation and be the buyer? She doesn't know what objections you're going to throw. James, you up for it?
Sure.
All right, James, you're the buyer. Whitney, you're the agent. You guys are sitting down. Initial consultation. Set expectations. 5 minutes, unless it gets really uncomfortable, and go.
Hey, James. So it was so nice to meet you, and I'm glad you were able to come into the office today. I know you said you're a first-time buyer. Tell me more about that. What are your goals?
Well, actually, we're just trying to find something about 500,000 with a pool. We want 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a quiet neighborhood.
Okay. And how long have you been looking?
We just started looking online, kind of just seeing what's out there.
Okay, awesome. So will you be purchasing cash or will you need financing?
No, we'll be cash.
Okay, awesome. And are there certain areas you're interested in?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, is what area is the best to be in.
Okay, well, that all depends, of course. Where do you currently work?
Well, I work from home, so I want a nice environment for home.
Okay, perfect. And will it just be you purchasing the home or?
No, my wife and I will purchase the home, yeah, together.
Okay, great. So I know you said 500,000 is your range. You're looking for a pool, 3-bed, 2-bath, and a quiet neighborhood. So everybody's idea of quiet is different. So tell me, are you looking for single family homes? Are you open to condos?
No, I think we definitely want single family detached. Maybe
Perfect.
a little bit of room around it, yeah. So.
All righty. I don't know, John, help me.
I was just about to type help to you in the chat box. So
Yeah.
Couple opportunities that you've got here, Whitney. Same with sellers. Why are all these things important?
Yeah.
Right.
Why is a single family important? Why is a quiet neighborhood important? Do you have kids, school system? Let's get down to the why of what he's looking for.
Okay. So James, tell me, why is that important to you? A 3-bed, 2-bath with a pool in a quiet neighborhood?
Well, I've got kids, I've got a 13-year-old, so he's going to be going on to high school. So you want to get in a good area with a good school. That's important. So figured a nice quiet neighborhood in a good area. Good for kids.
Okay. And have you researched schools in the area?
Well, not really. That's where, we're thinking about talking to some realtors and trying to find out what the best, the best school zones or districts are in the area here.
What I would recommend to you is greatschools.org. That's where you can find some amazing schools and ratings. And I know you said your kids aren't probably going to the same school, so that's a great place to start.
Okay.
And tell me, if we found your perfect home in 30 days, are you in a position to make a move?
A perfect home. Wow, that's pretty good if you find me a perfect home. Yeah, if we found a home that checked all the boxes, I think, yeah, we could do probably 30 days, worst case 45.
Okay. Do you currently rent?
No, we're in a temp home. It's just a friend of ours. We're moving into the area, so we're kind of staying with them while we're looking to find our own place.
Okay, so you're pretty flexible.
Right.
And
We
if
just
we
wanna
did
wear out our
find
welcome.
that, sorry, go ahead.
We just don't want to wear out our welcome. You know, we need to find a place at some point here and get everybody out.
That's understandable. So I would love to start showing you homes. I don't think your criteria is unrealistic. Tell me a little bit more about if you find this perfect home, what will that do for you and your family?
Well, it enables me to work, you know, continue my work peacefully, and you know, make sure the kids are my son is in a good school, and you know, just gives us a good lifestyle.
All right, great. Are you available, let's say tomorrow morning or afternoon to go check out homes?
Well, I'd like to take a look at them online first before we start driving all around. So maybe you could send me
30
some
seconds.
and let's see what you come up with and kind of see if it works.
Absolutely, yes. So I can set up a custom search based on your criteria. That way you'll get a feel for what's in the area. What we can do is go wide in the beginning, because I know you haven't nailed down a specific neighborhood, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So
Okay.
what I'll do is pull out some of the best homes in your range, 3-bed, 2-bath with a pool,
Time.
and go from there.
Awesome. All right, Whitney, great job. So what,
It was
how did you
painful.
feel? How did listen?
Oh, come on. I was easy. It could've
I
been
know you were.
painful. Oh my
Pain-
gosh.
that you got nice, James, today. So so Whitney, how did you feel about that?
Not bad, not amazing.
Okay, what did you do well?
I listened.
Okay. What do you think you could have done better?
Having a better structure, knowing my scripts better for buyers, because it's clearly been a while.
Okay. And how can you improve on that skill set?
Read script books or talk to more buyers.
And practice, right?
Yeah.
Practice your presentations. James, how did she do? How did you feel?
She did well. I mean, I felt like she was asking questions and you know, slowly unraveling, you know, what I was kind of looking for. And so yeah, I think it was good all the way through to get me to the point where, you know, I can start looking at some homes, and she built a bit of rapport, you know, so I felt like it was good connection.
So we're here to learn. All right. And what happens here stays here, except it's on Facebook Live. So it doesn't necessarily stay here. So James, you cringed at 2 very specific points in that conversation.
Well, only because Denny constantly says, you'll never find the perfect home.
Thank
you. When she kept saying perfect, I was like, oh, you know.
I was going to follow up with that. I just didn't get to it, but I always say, okay, cool. When we find your perfect home, then I'm like, hey, just so you know, there really isn't a perfect home, but we can get you close to it.
So
you just promised me you'd find me the perfect home.
Yeah. So let's go back to expectations. All right. You're
Right.
setting expectations, just like you do with sellers. You set expectations with the buyers at the very outset, the very first appointment. What can you use? What word can you use instead of perfect?
A great
Does
fit.
it? Was that
Like a great fit.
great fit? That special home. All right. Special
Fit your
does not
needs.
mean perfect.
Right.
My wife married me because I'm special, not because I'm perfect. So, so let's get some of those words out of our vocabulary immediately that set the wrong expectations, or quite frankly, can't be fulfilled. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. 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 All right. So who's got another one? We know Whitney's got some challenges with buyers, and she was willing to step forward and be thrown to the wolves right out of the gate. What else are you guys running into? And if it's buyers, let's keep on going with it. If you're having challenges with sellers, whether it's for sale by owners or unrealistic pricing, let's do it. What do you got? Rick, I can see you're getting ready to say something, but you're muted.
What about fatigued buyers?
Okay. Talk to us a little more about that. What do you mean by a fatigued buyer?
I feel like there's a lot of people that want to buy, but they're just like, oh, I don't know. Or they were gung-ho I just gave up on them. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just focusing on sellers primarily. So this is my bad, but just like super motivated 2 months ago, and then it's like, oh, we think we're just gonna wait, and like, I don't know, even though like now is
Okay, so if you had a
Wait.
buyer say that to you, what would you say?
well, the funny thing is they don't actually say that. I just know. I'm like, oh, so you're just
Okay.
over it at this point. Well, I say now's the best time based on interest rates and what you're looking for. And a lot of people,
Don't talk, don't tell. What question can, James knew it was coming. What question can you ask? They say, you know, we've been at this for 2 months, we're fed up, we're just gonna wait.
okay, I don't know. I'd say, why are you waiting? But
Great,
yeah.
great. And tell me, Whitney, that's a great point. Let me ask you, what happened in the past couple months that changed your mind?
Oh, I wrote like 10 offers and none of them got accepted. And I've been going to the listing agents directly because I heard that's the best way to go.
So here we are 2 months into the process and you've made 10 offers and what felt like the best way to go wasn't.
Correct.
Does that change your plans or are you just frustrated with the process?
I'm just a little frustrated. I don't know. I keep hearing there's no inventory, so I don't think I'll find what I'm looking for.
And that might be the case. Are you open to another viewpoint and another way of making this work?
Sure.
Okay. Period. End of conversation. You now got her to the point where she's not out of the market. She said she's in the market. Now you're bringing into the equation your value proposition, going back and requalifying and so forth. So that is, Whitney, that is a great scenario because yes, it happens all the time. I'm just fed up. I mean, how many of you would, you know, you get older like me, you've been through this process, unfortunately, a couple of times. How many of you got fed up with dating at one point? Oh my God, all women are crazy. All men are crazy, whatever the case is, right? It's the same thing. You're just fed up with the process. You're not fed up with the goal. Your goal hasn't changed. You're annoyed at the process. Does that make sense? All right. What else do you guys have? Got to have something. Give me the hard ones before Denny gets here. Bryant, what's happening in New Orleans? Oh, sorry, I didn't pronounce that right. What's happening in New Orleans?
In Baton Rouge, but yeah, I work in New Orleans also. I don't know. It's raining over here right now.
What's that?
It's raining over here right now.
Okay. So does rain prevent you from having conversations with buyers and sellers?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that'd be the better day to talk to anybody, really.
All right. We're coming to the end. Actually, in 2 days, it will be the end of 2021. Right? Everything you do today pays dividends in 90 days. January 1st begins on Friday. So who do you need to talk to? And what is keeping you from doing that to get your first quarter out of the gate beyond your best expectations?
Talk to more FSBOs.
Talk to who, Bryant?
More FSBOs or
Okay.
unassisted sellers.
Let's talk FSBOs for a moment. We chatted about that this morning on our role play call. How many are actively pursuing for sale by owners? All right, thank you.
Day, but once every day, but you know, every other day.
Okay, that's actively. I'll take that. So by the lack of response from the rest of you, I'm going to say you're not. Let's find out why. Moses. You guys know me by now. I call on everyone. So Moses, why aren't you calling on for sale by owners?
I have not seen any local for sale by owners lately. And in my experience, people who are selling their own property have the desire not to work with an agent. I've only had a very few, maybe less than 6 appointments with those. And one really didn't like agents. And the other one, I'm not sure, he was like military and he wanted to handcuff people during his showings and stuff. And so I have not had much fortune in that area.
Okay. We hear that a lot. So the first question is somebody who doesn't want to work with agents. Is every agent out there going to fit the mold that, or their preconceived notion about agents? No. They are pigeonholing themselves and they've got a mindset, and the best way to overcome that is to ask questions and to find out what their motivation is, right? If a for sale by owner's motivation is to put a house on the market at a ridiculously high price to see if there's an idiot out there that will pay for it, guess what? That's not who you want. But if there's a for sale by owner out there that says, hey, I'm going to save $60,000 by doing this myself, do you have an opportunity to show value to be able to turn them around? Okay, we're getting some yeses here. Awesome. Rick, do you want to play for sale by owner, or do you want to play agent on this one?
Sure. I'll play Fizbo.
Okay.
So the thing about it is, I think the tendency is on for sale by owners, it's expressing value that we bring is a challenge if we want to stay away from the laundry list.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Now,
so we have to articulate what we bring to the table. And I think the other thing is just continue to ask those probing questions. Well, what would that do for you? If you sell the house for yourself, what would that do for you? Where are you going? How
wonderful. Well, you're going to be the for sale by owner.
Yep.
All right, and we're going to put James to the test here, since he was the client last time. He's going to get to be the agent this time. So,
right.
Rick, prepare yourself, because you're going to be the agent in the next round. All right. Now you guys, let's do this way. James, you're calling to get the appointment.
Okay.
After you get the appointment, someone else is going to be the seller, and Rick will handle the appointment.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Go. You're making the call.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Rick?
It is.
Hey, Rick, this is James with BBO Luxury Group of Keller Williams. I know you're an unassisted seller at the moment, but I just wanted to call up and see how it was going. How long have you had your home on the market?
Unassisted seller? What was that?
Yeah, well, you know, when you're trying to sell it yourself, you're really an unassisted seller in the market, which, you know, kind of puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage in a way. But, you know, I mean, if you're trying to do it, I certainly appreciate that. What is the main reason why you're acting as an unassisted seller in this market?
Well, you know, it's a hot market. I figure I could do it myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this, Rick. Do you work at a job?
Yeah, I do.
And are you having to be in an office for that job, or you get to work from home?
It's hybrid.
It's hybrid. Okay. Well, how much time do you have to spend in the office?
Maybe one day a week.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. Now,
No.
so have you had any offers come in on the property yet?
No, I just put it out. I just put it out on Zillow just you know, day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday. So no calls or no traffic yet, huh?
No.
Okay. And where do you have to be when you sell your house? Where's your next location you're trying to get to?
Well, we just you know, we're just looking to right size. So, you know, we're staying in the area.
So
We've
right
got a lot of
size.
family ties. So we're just looking, we're looking just to maybe not have so much house to take care of.
Gotcha. So when you say right size, do you mean the house a little big for you, or is it a little small for you? What's the situation?
It's a little big, and
Okay.
I'd rather spend my time fishing instead of doing maintenance.
Gotcha. I certainly appreciate that. So are you looking at like a condo or something much smaller?
No, the condo life's not for us. No,
Gotcha.
we're just looking for something smaller. You know, about half the size. You know, we got about 3,000 square foot now. We're looking at something maybe the 1,600 square foot range.
And you
Maybe a townhouse, but condo life, we're not condo life folks.
Gotcha. Well, you know, we have a lot of buyers in the market that are looking at different homes. I'd like to come by and at least preview the house and get a feel for, you know, what it is you're offering, and get a look at, like, have you upgraded kitchens? Have you redone baths, anything like that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, we've made some improvements. So this is not you not want to list my house. You just want,
Well,
you
no, I just want to
get-
take a look at it and talk to you about it, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if your home doesn't sell, you know, because when you have a home that's for sale by owner or, you know, unassisted seller, you know, I think you'll find a lot of times people are bargain hunting, right? So if you see somebody on Zillow they're selling their home themselves, they're thinking I can go in there and get a deal. So I'd just like to talk about maybe what we could do for you and try to show you how we might be able to net you more money. I mean, at the end of the day, is that the only concern of yours, is getting more money out of the deal?
Well, I think I got it priced pretty good, and I just, you know, I'm not a fan of paying, you know, money out that I could keep in my pocket for commissions and stuff. So
Yeah, I certainly appreciate that. Now, would you be paying a co-broke if you had if someone brought a buyer to you? Would you at least pay the 3% co-broke on the deal?
yeah, I would, because I you know, if they brought somebody to me, then, you know, I figured that they're a serious buyer.
Okay, so you're okay with paying out 3%. It's just the 6% that bothers you, the total.
Yeah.
Okay, so really it's the 3% you're worried about having to pay out. But if we could come and show you how we might be able to get your home marketed better and get you more money for your home, would you be interested in possibly talking?
Well, I want to give this a try for a couple of weeks for myself, but if you want to come by and preview the house, that's fine. And
Okay.
we can talk later.
Well, why don't we plan on that? How is Thursday at 5? Does that work for you?
5:30 would actually be better.
Okay, great. Absolutely. We'll see you at 5:30 on Thursday. What's the best email for you? I'll just set an appointment with you.
I love fishing at gmail.com.
Perfect. I love fishing at gmail.com. Well, I'll see you at 5:30 on Thursday, and I'll send you a confirmation at ilovefishing@gmail.com. Thanks very much, Rick. Good talking to you.
Rick,
All
you're
right,
my new
thank you.
favorite person on this call.
Why is that?
I love that email. Okay, so James, we're going to go back and review yours after the second half. Bryant is going to step in and be the seller at the face-to-face. Rick, you are now stepping into the agent shoes.
Okay.
Again, 5 minutes. Have at it.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for allowing me to come to preview your home. So, you know, what about your home that like one of the favorite thing about your home that you want to tell me,
Oh,
share with me?
Oh, the fact that we've made some improvements on the house, and you know, we originally remodeled the place to live here, but how it is now, we love it, and I think that another buyer would love it too. So that's I think the improvements are the best thing about the house right now.
Right. So, you know, what do you think? What do you think you might miss about your home once you sell it?
Really the location where we're at. You know, it's a great area, great school. You know, we bought the house to live here, you know, forever, but we need to move.
And you are in a great area. This is a very desirable area. You're absolutely right. So, you know, as far as I know, you said on the phone that you wanted to try to sell it on your own for a couple of weeks. And so with that, you know, what's your marketing plan? What are you going to do? I mean, I know you said you put it on Zillow. What other things are you doing to market your home?
We're gonna do, you know, open houses on Sunday, and the wife works at home sometimes, and I'm gone. You know, I do, you know, I sell yachts here in Florida, so I can't.
Oh, you sell yachts? That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I love to fish. I love to fish.
Well, these type of
Great
yachts,
place.
you know, they're pretty big yachts. I don't think you want to fish on these type of yachts, but yeah, I
That's
mean,
why they got a lower deck for.
Yeah, true, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we just doing open houses and we're just really fishing out there, you know.
Yeah.
Just fishing to see if we get that serious buyer.
Right. So, what's your thought process, or have you thought about how you're going to qualify, you know, the person you're talking to, if they express interest, whether or not they're actually a qualified buyer?
I will think if they're, you know, a qualified buyer, that they, I I don't know. I mean, if they have a pre-approval or
Okay.
an agent, you know,
Right.
I would think
Right.
that they would tell me.
Okay. All right. Well, in trying to sell the house by yourself, you know, we talked on the phone that you're fine with someone, an agent such as myself or one of my co-agents bringing you a buyer with the 3%. So and we were talking about the 3% discussion, essentially what it is on the sell side. So by saving 3%, what would that do for you?
You know, Rick, we're really trying to just make the most amount of money for the house.
Sure.
It's really not, you know, it would be great if we saved 3%. I guess that would give us some wiggle room to pay some closing costs for the buyer if they need it. If not, great. We're not completely, you know, I guess against working with an agent. It's just the fact that if we can, we will. You know.
All right. All right. Well, you know, I can appreciate you, you know, giving it a try. Absolutely. So there's just a couple of things I'd like to share for, you know, just the value that we as agents bring. And so I've got this nice brochure for you here on how to conduct a safe open house, some things you can prepare for as far as that's concerned. And so I'm happy to leave that with you as far as, you know, as you're getting ready to go into that. And also, you know, you always have an option. I'd be happy to do the open house for you because I'm always looking for serious buyers. And so, and help you with that process if you're interested in considering that, take some of that pressure off of you. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we can you can work through and make it a little easier for you. But Brian, the real thing is, as far as what agents do for you, you know, if houses are now selling at about 102% of list price. And so, you know, agents in our office, we've been getting as much as 105 to 106% of list price. And so that's the value that we bring in being able to get you more.
All right. Time is up. Good job, everybody. So first of all, let's go back to, guys, remember how you felt through your roles in this? Because I know we got 3 people that participated in this. James, how did you feel?
I felt pretty good. I felt like I asked a good amount of questions. I kind of was guiding him where I wanted him to go, but he kind of jumped out of the chute a couple of times with, you know, working from home 1 day a week instead of having a job where he's 5 days or 4 days a week. I was like, okay, well, I was trying to do him value of time.
Okay, awesome.
And so
could you have closed the appointment earlier? Just because you have 5 minutes doesn't mean you need to take it all.
Right. But I was trying to dig more into what his motivation was and trying to uncover more before I set the appointment to make sure is there any chance he's even going to work with me?
I absolutely appreciate that. So let me ask you this. If you're on the cusp of setting the appointment and then you ask questions that causes him to rethink his decision, is that good for you or bad for you?
It's definitely bad if I talk myself out of an appointment. Right.
Right. So when you get him to the point of saying, you know what, yeah, you can come by and preview it, whatever, take it. Then when you're face to face, you can have that conversation with him. And you know what, when you're face to face with him, he's going to be a lot more real than he is over the phone.
True.
It's really difficult to come up with a story when you're looking somebody in the eye, isn't it? Right. So get the appointment closed. Now, Rick, when you were at the position of the seller, how did you feel?
You know, I felt like that I gave him, you know, enough line to run with, but I felt like there probably could have been a couple of more probing questions initially.
Okay.
You know, such as, you know, more detail following up as to, well, why are you selling? What will that do for you? That type of thing.
Okay. Excellent. James, one last thing. When you're talking to for sale by owners, get rid of co-broke. They don't know what co-broke is.
Right.
Flush that down the toilet. Yeah. Are you going to compensate an agent that brings you a buyer or something like that?
Right.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and you know, you noticed that I challenged him a bit on that unassisted seller.
Yep. And also
Yeah.
That's
So-
I love that term. Maybe don't start out with it that way. Maybe say, hey, I understand you're selling your home on your own as an unassisted seller.
As an SSL, yeah.
So you're giving them the definition right up front. Rick, thanks for pointing that out. Now, Rick, you got put in the hot seat. You were now the agent working with Bryant. How did you do and how did you feel?
Well, I felt like that there was an illustration, there was a scenario that Denny did several months ago, and I was really trying to bring it back in my mind. He gives an illustration about painting his own house and being his own doctor, and I felt like that I maybe meandered a little bit too long.
Okay. Bryant, as the
If I'd
seller, how did you
have
feel?
gone in with that, I mean, I got the information, I found out what it would do for him, and affirmed that, what he was attempting to do. And then I also tried to, I made an attempt to offer some value in regards to offering something for his open house, just to let him know that I was a resource. That was my motivation.
Okay.
In that regard, but I felt like I could have got more to the point had I been able to recall
That's why
that.
we're here, right? That's why we're here, is to practice it, to be able to narrow that skill set down. But
Yeah.
Bryant, how did you feel as a seller?
I felt comfortable. I felt like I listened. I felt like I was the one listening more than I was saying anything.
Okay.
So I mean, I felt comfortable. There's a few things that I gave out there as clues that could be used, but
Okay. So, Rick, a couple questions that you could have asked at this point. I mean, you brought up one of the statistics. Homes in our market are selling for 102% of ask price. So, Bryant, let me ask you, how familiar are you with negotiating multiple offers at a time?
Right.
Don't just give the stat, follow it with a question. Bryant, getting an offer, that's the first step. There's 3 places where a transaction can fall apart. Are you familiar with those? And then a couple times he went back to the saving the 3%. And there's a real simple line for that one. Bryant, do you want to save 3%? Are you looking to save money or are you looking to make money? Denny, I know you're listening. I don't know if you're at a point where you can chat, but do you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, well, first of all, John, thanks for leading off and cover me as I had a meeting run over. And also, guys, I got to hear most of that. And James, your questions were awesome. Rick, you guys are really growing. You got a little bit telly there, Rick, on the point you were just talking about. But I'm gonna just ask you guys something. There's an obvious. Now I know Brian had an eye, and I didn't really wasn't paying attention, but he probably had an idea. He gave you a clue. He said, "We'll come back to that in a second." There was a major opportunity for you to connect on something and draw a parallel. What was that?
Fishing.
Yes, fishing. So. Let me just take this for a few minutes. I won't do it long. And I think I heard, Rick, you were the seller. I think you're the one who brought up fishing, right?
Yes.
So so at some point in the conversation, Rick, you're into fishing. Is this what type of fishing are you doing?
Well, I love to do some deep sea fishing, and I fish off here too, but deep sea fishing.
And you do this for fun, or are you a competitive fisher?
Oh, I just do it for fun. Some people golf, I fish.
I got it. Well, when you have an email that ends in "I love fishing," fishing must be important to you. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, because I don't do a lot of fishing. And can anybody fish?
Well, I think anybody can fish. That.
Right.
Yeah, anybody can go down buy a pole and some line and a hook, and yeah, anybody can fish.
Guys, do you see where I'm taking him?
Mindset.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
It was mindset, how his thoughts of the conversation.
Oh yeah, I get that, but I'm drawing the parallel with fishing. He's actually putting himself in a vice.
How many
Because-
people?
Okay, he's walking himself down a road he can't get out of here, and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, so I understand. So I mean, anyone can fish, but that doesn't mean anyone can catch fish, right?
Right.
And have you ever heard about or read about people that actually fish competitively, and there's big prizes out there for them?
Oh, absolutely. I watch those shows all the time.
And do you think those experienced fishermen that do it professionally have a level of experience that the recreational fisher person doesn't have?
Oh, absolutely.
So if you're going to go out and and go fishing for prize money, and some of it can be pretty big, it's kind of like the equity in your house. Do you think maybe a recreational person that doesn't really sell houses for a living can do better than somebody who actually sells houses for a living, like a professional competitive fisher person?
I doubt it.
So my question is, and we're on the phone, would it be worth a 30-minute conversation to talk to a professional that sells houses for a living and tell you our secrets and how we can probably put more money in your pocket so you can, get moved to the house you want it. So what I'm doing here, and maybe Bryant wanted to use the yacht broker. I could have done the same thing with the yacht broker. And I understand that, Rick, you attempted to get, how many days a week, and he kind of like backslapped you, and you didn't have that road to go down. If you can find out what they do, and this time there's a lot of conversation about fishing, do you have the ability then to draw the analogy? It doesn't matter what it is. Can you draw the analogy from somebody that can go buy a pole and throw a hook in the water? That's fishing. That's not catching. Now looking back, do you think that could have been something you could have exploited? I see you nodding.
Oh, definitely.
nodding his head.
Definitely.
So, Brian, were you attempting to lead somebody down that road, and you sell yachts for a living?
Well, that,
Yeah.
and then when I mentioned that I was just trying to fish, I specifically said that because I was hoping he was saying, well, Brian, do you, are you hoping to catch a trophy fish here, or a little small pound, bass?
Good for you. Now, here we go. John, find somebody on the call that wants to use Brian's analogy. He's a seller. He sells yachts. Somebody draw the parallel with the conversation with somebody who's a yacht broker.
All right. So who wants to be a yacht broker? It's got to be somebody who hasn't been on today. Raise your hand before I raise it for you.
No, they're not going to be the yacht broker. They're going to be the agent talking to Bryant, who is the yacht broker.
They're going to be the agent with the conversation on the yacht broker. Bryant's staying in the seller role.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So I've got 5 of you to choose from. Do I go alphabetical? Do I throw a dart, or do I just choose Reagan? I guess I'm choosing Reagan.
Okay.
Hi, Reagan.
Hi.
All right. You're going to use the same analogy that Denny just drew with fishing and turn it into yacht brokerage, which is Bryant's business.
So am I the yacht broker, or
Nope,
am
Bryant's the yacht broker.
Okay.
You're the agent. All right. And the beauty of this training, guys, is we can't do every single job out there. We can't be familiar with every single hobby. However, the principle and being able to turn this around is exactly the same, isn't it? All right, Reagan, have at it.
So Brian, you sell yachts then? How long have you
Yeah,
been doing that?
Or about 12 years now. I'm actually the head of operations over here.
That must be an interesting job. I bet you meet a lot of an unusual type of people, a wide variety of people doing that.
It's an interesting occupation.
And how do you go about becoming a yacht broker? Does it take a lot of schooling, or were you trained, or?
Just right connections, right company, right exposure. Just having the right clientele.
Okay. And trying to draw the parallel.
Well, let me
So-
ask you, Brian. So you're a yacht broker. I have a boat. Do I have to use you to sell a boat, or can I sell my own boat?
Oh, you could definitely sell your own boat. I mean, that's up to you.
Well, let me ask you, why would I want to use you? I mean, you charge a fee?
Yeah, I mean, depending on price, it varies, and I mean, we're able to market these investments to bigger buying clientele.
Well, I mean, why would I'm just kind of curious. Why wouldn't I just sell my own boat? I mean, can I sell my own boat?
Yeah, you can sell your own boat. I mean, you could definitely, just like you can fix your own car, but if you want to do it the right way and get most money for it, you'd use a broker.
So are you saying that's your value proposition? I mean, why would somebody use you when they can sell their boat themselves?
Because we do many things with selling these yachts. We have international clients. I mean, we don't usually when you sell a boat, it's usually to a family friend or somebody you work with, and you do it yourself. But if you use a broker, you could market these multi-million-dollar yachts to international clients.
So you think
Denny's
we would
breaking
make
up
more
over
money
here.
if we used an actual yacht broker to help sell the yacht?
Makes it all. So that's awful.
Denny, you're going in and out here.
Say it again.
You're going in and out.
Yeah, somebody
Okay.
asked the right question.
Yep.
Somebody asked the question.
So, Bryant, I sent you before Denny broke out, I sent you the answer to the question as to why you use a yacht broker. Why do you use a yacht broker? Why is it my best interest? I've got a 112 Westport. I can sell it on my own. Why should I use you?
No, I mean, we put more money in our clients' pockets.
Oh,
Now the question. What is it, John?
So if you put more money in your clients' pockets because of your knowledge, your expertise, and your database, wouldn't you want to use that same concept to benefit you?
Yeah, at the end of the day, if we made more money on the house, it would make sense.
And that's exactly what we do. Sign here, press hard, 3 copies.
You guys
I am sold, John.
when you guys can, I mean, when he said he sells yachts for a living, that is a softball waiting to be hit out of the park, because he lists boats and people pay him commission. Just turn it around and like a Columbo, just like we did. Why would somebody use you? I mean, I'm kind of curious. And then he basically built his own gallows, which now you can walk him up the steps. It doesn't matter. Pick a profession. Somebody pick one. Not the oldest living one, okay? So just pick a profession. Somebody pick one.
Urologist.
Okay, well, whatever. I mean, you all kinds of, let's say they're an engineer.
Okay.
Then let's take a minute. John, pick somebody to say, take 2 minutes on the engineer. Have a conversation about what they do and parallel it to what we do. Pick somebody, John.
Al. I love having conversations with Al.
Okay, I'm here.
Al, you're an engineer. Al, engineering, wonderful. What type of engineer are you?
Building engineer.
Building engineer. So are you on the architectural side?
Yeah, the structure side. Yes.
Okay, that's really cool. And how long have you been doing that for?
Oh God, going on 25 years now.
Okay. And let me ask you, your clients come to you and they sketched out a house on a napkin. Why, if they've done that, why can't they use that and just buy CAD program and go ahead and build the house and design the house themselves?
Well, I guess they could, but they probably end up costing them more money, since there's a lot of codes that they have to meet, and if they don't know what those codes are and adjust for them.
Can you give me an example of that? What sort of mistake could I make that would cost me money?
Yeah, if they put in the wrong size beam or have too long of an expansion, something of that nature.
Okay.
They go for their inspection, and it doesn't get improved, then they'd have the cost of fixing it accordingly.
And do materials play a role in that too?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
whether it's the water coming in the house and knowing what size pipe is needed to, whether it's 2 bathrooms or 5 bathrooms, there's differentials that have to take into consideration.
So your clients pay you really well, not for your time involved to do the drawings, but they pay you really well for your expertise you bring to the table. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
All right. Now, again, you draw the parallel. Excellent. Now, we have time, I think. So,
Yeah,
all
we
right,
got
now,
15 more, Denny.
all right. So let's pick somebody else.
All
And I
right,
want them to
perfect.
be the agent. I want them to be the agent, and I'll tell you what profession I am.
Okay. Murray, you're going to be the agent, and you got Denny.
Okay,
Are you okay? Are you ready?
yes.
Okay. I have a towing business. I have tow trucks to go and help people out on the road.
Understand. So, Denny, you have a tow business. How long have you been in the business?
You know, that's a great. I'm just stopping right now. That's not a roll. John said the same thing. That is an excellent way to start the conversation. Excellent. There was actually, my dad had it, and I kind of grew up in the towing business. And so, I've been doing it for the last 20 years.
20 years. So that means you have a lot of experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Danny, let me ask you, if I need my car tow, can I do it myself? Or just get my husband to help me to do it instead of hiring you?
Okay, now that's a bit. Now you kind of got a little bit circular on that question. I'm going to go ahead and give you a redo on that question. It's a good question. Just ask it a little clearer.
If someone needs to get tow his car, can they do it himself, or do they need somebody like you to do it for them?
Well, I mean, they can't really tow the car themselves. I mean, they have to have a friend, I guess, do it. However, that would be a little tricky.
Right. So Danny, let me ask you, if I have a car broken and I don't want to pay that much for the tow, can I just get my friend to do it? Can you tell me how it would benefit me to hire you instead of just getting a friend to help me with that?
Well, I mean, I'm glad you asked that question because towing is a tricky business. I mean, not only do you have the regulations and workloads, you've got traffic and the danger of traffic. And if you don't tow it just right, and you actually don't disconnect for example, on a standard transmission or automatic transmission, if you don't disconnect or put it in neutral or disconnect the drive shaft, you could ruin the transmission. That could be a real mess.
So what I hear you're saying is that there could be a mistake and it will end up costing more money instead of saving money.
Right. So now you're right. Now start bringing it home because now you've hooked me. Now land me.
So Denny, do you see how by hiring an agent like me, you will be hiring somebody with experience that will not only save you money, but net you top dollar?
Well, now you're talking like a real estate agent. Talk like you've got the right idea, but keep it in line with what you're talking about. It would be something like this. So really anyone can get a rope and pull somebody's car or a chain, right? However, there's a lot of potential dangers if they don't know what they're doing. Correct?
Yes.
So I would definitely call you if I needed a tow because you know what you're doing. You've done it 20 years. You grew up in the business because a lot can go wrong. Wouldn't you want to have the same type of expertise on something a lot more important like your home and your equity? Wouldn't you want to call a professional like me to help get you moved versus call and doing it yourself with a rope? and having somebody else pull you. You see, that's the kind of thing. Just use their language. And again, I think it's a very powerful thing. So nice job. Nice job of starting with it, because you said, hey, how long have I been doing it? Blah, blah, blah. Let's do this again, John. John, you pick a profession, you be the professional, and pick somebody else to do role play with you. Don't tell them what the profession is, though, until you pick the person.
All right. Let's see. Carla, are you available? Cheryl, I'm going to the two. I know Cheryl's been typing, so I know she's here.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Cheryl, you are the agent. I am the seller.
All right. And what is your name?
My name is John.
John. Hi, John. Thank you so much for having me over to see your home. I'm excited to see your home that you're selling.
Let's start. Hang on. Let's start with a profession. We're not going from the beginning. Just
Okay.
Parallel with what he does.
Okay. So, John, what do you do for?
Wait a minute. You don't know what he does yet, do you?
No,
She's
I was
asking
just
right
gonna
now.
ask him.
Okay, got it. All right, sorry.
So, John, what do you do?
I own a funeral home.
A funeral home. Boy, that's very interesting. Boy, good and bad, I assume, in these times.
It's actually, you know what, being here in Naples, Florida, it's a great place to be in business.
Wow, a funeral home. How long have you been in the business?
Beautiful.
Second generation, actually. My father started it when I was a kid, so we've had the family business for nearly 50 years now.
Wow, congratulations. That is so impressive. That's fantastic. So, are you planning on, okay, let me redirect. Okay. So interesting. So do you have a lot of people that come in and are asking you if they can sort of do a at-home funeral ever?
We have that on occasion.
All right. And how do you counsel people when they ask that question? Because I'm sure there are people that, that it's kind of cost prohibitive for them. So how do you counsel them on that?
Actually, we've done that before. We've been in a lot of really strange places, not just churches and our funeral home.
I see. So is that something you would advise, or that you advertise, or do you sort of steer people away from that?
We really want to give that final experience, absolutely the best experience that they're going to have. So if their desire is to go out on the Naples Princess and have a cocktail hour while they're situated on the back deck and their friends are toasting them with a bourbon, I'm okay with that. Whatever they want.
So you sort of go above and beyond to make sure that people and their families have a fabulous send-off for their family or friends. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. Celebration of life.
All right. So you do make an effort to give them what they want and to get them the best value that you can offer to them. Is that correct?
Yep.
Bring it home.
That's fantastic. Well, John, I do see a bit of a correlation here. I'm not in the, funeral home business, certainly, but I do consider, after 23 years as being a professional real estate agent, that there is value, just as your value to your clients in the funeral business. Do you see why it might be advantageous for you to consider using a professional like myself to help get your home sold? Because I will also give you the same value and service that you have offered to people, because I do this every day, just like you do funerals every day. Would that be something that would be of value to you, do you think?
Okay.
Go ahead, Denny.
That's good. Now, all right. Now, Cheryl, nice job. How did it feel, Cheryl?
Well, I was certainly thrown off at the funeral home, but that's good. Keeps me on my toes. I think the last question I asked was a yes and no question. So I was not happy with that last question that I offered. And I should have been stronger on digging deeper with the correlation to what he does and the pain and pleasure threshold for him and what I can offer as an agent to sell his home.
What a great pun, digging deeper for a funeral guy.
Oh,
Now, here's my blink. Here's my blink. Listen up. Here's my blink. There's a couple things, and I'm formulating a model. Ask them what they do, how long they've been doing it. Now I want you to simplify it. Basically, for example, I've had a little bit of time to think about it, right? And so I might say something. Well, I mean, it seems like I understand there's probably some laws about how you have a funeral or actually how you prepare somebody for burial. But however, I mean, it's more than digging a hole and putting a body in it, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
And you could say, what's the most important thing, blah, blah, blah. And so what you want to do is, because they've been doing it a while, and probably the most important thing, and this is what John was saying, is the experience for the living. And then okay, so whatever they say, you say, well, are there people out there that maybe just don't give it the same level of attention? They cut corners or whatever. Oh yeah, well that's blah blah blah. Now you're building up a little bit more value. However, for the first time, that was a little bit of a challenging situation. You did really good. Can you guys all see how no matter what profession they come up with, how you can turn it around to our benefit? Because understand, like Rick was talking about the analogy about painting a house. Anybody can paint a house. Anybody can dig a hole or drop a body in it. Anybody can basically go fishing. However, there's a difference to everything when somebody does it for a living. So we have time for another one, and let's let Bryant go, and unless Whitney wants to, because I don't know if Whitney's played yet. So Bryant,
let's have Whitney and Bryant.
Yeah, Brian, you be the professional. Whitney, you're going to be the agent. And Brian, what's your expertise?
Well, I kind of wanted to be the agent, but I guess I'll be the professional.
You're always wanting to be the agent. I love that about you. You be the ball.
So I guess, I'll be I don't know, a developer, real estate developer. And that'll be my profession. We build buildings in Manhattan.
All right, well, I tell you what, we're going to take 2 minutes. We're going to reverse it, and then I'll give you 2 minutes to be an agent. How's that, Brian? I don't want you to go home sad. Although you are home. You ever leave the house? You're always right there in your house. All right, so Whitney, go ahead.
Hey, Bryant. So I know you said you're a developer. Just curious, how long have you been doing that?
For 20 years now.
Wow, that's awesome. And what got you into the business?
It was inherited from down the family, and I just kind of took it from my father.
Oh, great. So you didn't have to go to school or get licensed or anything like that?
Oh, there was, I mean, it's a long time ago, but it was like stuff for building code and whatnot that I went through just for me to be within operations. So I did everything right.
Okay, great. So when it comes to developing real estate, do you think anybody could do that, or do you need to hire a professional?
Definitely not your taxi driver here in New York. You can't just build buildings. You have to go through a lot of obstacles to get here.
Okay, and just curious, how often do you sell these properties?
Well, last year we had over 300 units in one building, so we sold out that one. They went pretty fast.
Great.
That's a minute, Whitney. Better bring it back now.
Did you represent yourself on these sales?
Oh no, we had a broker here in Manhattan that did the whole thing, but we kind of not sure about him anymore.
Okay, and so it's important to hire a professional, you know that, right, when it comes to selling these properties?
Yeah, we have international clients that come in and buy. I mean, there's people from China, Singapore, and everywhere that comes and buys these apartments.
Awesome. Well, I'd love to be that professional. Do you have some time later today or tomorrow morning to sit down and see what I can do differently to help you get these properties sold?
Yeah, but you went in to hold his hand too soon.
You gave me a minute. I freaked out.
Well, why don't you ask him? So let me ask you, why don't you sell your properties yourself, Brian?
We move on to the once a building is being built, we look for other investments. We move on to the next thing. We don't just stay still.
Or are you kind of saying that maybe your time is better invested going on to the next project versus, going through the rigors of selling the units?
Yeah, I'm definitely me as a CEO. I'm not going to be dealing with the buyer. I don't want to do that.
Now, Whitney, all right, land the plane.
I can't. I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of curious, and it sounds like that you've got better fish to fry than maybe waiting on buyers that don't keep their appointments on the home. Why are you going by yourself on your own
home? My own home. What do you mean?
Well, this is like a buy owner call or meeting. You're selling your house yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely just don't want to deal with the headache and the problem with window shoppers. That's a big thing in real estate. People like to come see houses and they're not even serious.
Yeah, but why do you have it? Are you selling it by yourself then? You're a buy owner. We're having a conversation with you as a buy owner.
Yeah. I'm trying to make the most amount of money for my house.
So it sounds like when you're doing these Manhattan projects, then you could make more money. I mean, you could save some money by doing the individual sales, yet you're going out and finding bigger projects and letting somebody else pick up the little pieces. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
I know selling your houses, you could probably do it. I mean, you're smart enough to do it. However, relative to the amount of money you save, assuming you save any, would your time be better spent on looking for bigger projects for you to develop than picking up the pieces here?
Yeah. We have many projects that we are considering.
So that's what I'm saying. All right. So Bryant, we'll close with this. And I want you guys to know Bryant is he is just like a little bit, he made his bed today, so it's good. Last week his bed wasn't made. So let's put in the chat. Put in the chat what you want. Give him a challenge. Put in the chat what the occupation should be. And I'll let you be that occupation, and you're unassisted seller. So what does Bryant deserve today as we close this? I'm not playing. Come on, guys, chat it up.
And John can come up with something interesting.
No, it's about you guys right now.
Car sales.
All right, I got retired teacher, car sales, anything else? Shrimper. I like shrimper.
Definitely not.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Buckaroo, you want to play? We're in the big leagues now. No more T-ball for you. All right. Rick, you're the seller. You got 2 minutes, Bryant. Go.
Where's Rick at? Hey, Rick. What is he again?
A shrimper.
Hey, Rick. Are you sitting down, or what's the environment? What's the setting?
Now you're killing me. You're on the phone.
Does it really matter?
On the phone, you want to find out what I do.
Hey, Rick. I see that your house there, 123 Elm Street's for sale by owner. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I see that it's been on the market for a few days. How's the experience selling the house yourself?
You don't have time for that. Just go right to what he does.
Okay. Well, Rick, what is it that you do?
I run a shrimp boat.
Shrimp boat. Wow. How long have you been doing that?
Nice.
Oh, probably 30 years. My whole family that we've been doing shrimp boats for generations.
Generations. Wow. Okay. Now, Rick, would you just want, so far as your shrimp boats, how many shrimp boats do you have?
Well, we've got a fleet of 4 right now, fully operational. 1 part-time.
Fully operational. Part-time. Okay. Now, you as the, I guess are you the owner of the company?
I own it, and I'm also one of the captains.
One of the captains. Okay. And so far as, being a captain yourself, I do believe you actually have to have a captain's license to to be out to sea shrimping, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's
1 minute.
Yeah, that's a requirement.
No, I mean, could anybody in this world go shrimping themselves?
Well,
Beautiful
they,
question. Beautiful question.
well, they could probably get a boat and get some netting and some buoys and go out and drop a net over the side of the boat. But you know, it is a craft.
Yeah, and I believe shrimp boats are kind of their own type of boat themselves. I mean, it isn't just your little wooden boat.
You're doing great. However, he gave you a great word. What was it? Craft. Tell me about the craft. Because what we do, guys, is a craft. So spend a minute, no, not a minute, spend 30 seconds there, then bring the boat home.
Okay, Rick. Now, so far as you being a captain yourself,
Craft.
you know,
Tell me about the
now, Rick,
craft.
Rick, so far as being a captain and a stripper yourself, you know, how do you see yourself compared to anybody out there trying to shrimp themselves?
Well, I'm a seasoned veteran. I know, you know, I just know a lot about the techniques needed, and I'm a seasoned fisherman, and that I read the sea. I don't get lost.
Yeah. Now, Rick, you trying to sell your own home, and in this very competitive market we're in currently, a lot of buyers, also sellers. Would you want to use the right techniques and read the market the right way, like you would be as a captain on the ocean?
Well, yeah, I would, because when I go out, you know, the goal is to bring the shrimp home.
Okay, let's just, it's 2:07. So, this was, I mean, did you like this? I mean, we've talked about doing this before, and this kind of evolved because what John had set up. Did you guys like this?
Yes.
You
I'll
see,
start from fishing.
yes, and so I love listen to what they said. He said craft, and well, I mean, if I got a shrimp boat and went out there, I mean, how hard could that be, Rick? I mean, you throw the nets overboard, the nets will go down in the water, and then you reel them in. I mean, that can't be that hard, right? So you almost like, I don't understand the science now. You just drop something overboard, because that's what sellers think selling their houses like. They just drop what?
A sign.
A sign in the yard, and all of a sudden the shrimp will swim in.
Right.
There's a whole lot more technique. That's what I want you guys to get going through your veins. There's technique, there's expertise, there's nuance, and you don't have that when you first start. So I trust, John, you can close this out. I just trust you guys like this, and we should probably do it every now and then, because it really helps you identify, helps them identify. Selling a house is not as easy as dropping a sign in the yard. John, close this out, my friend.
Guys, great job today. Next week, we're going to ask the same question. What's going on in your market? What's going on in your world? Come ready. And you know what? Tell your friends. We're here from all different companies. Denny, especially, and I are here to help everybody out. So tell your friends to come on and join us. Let's see if we can get 30, 40, 50 people on here, and you're going to start really hearing some very unique ways of handling things.
Yeah. And Brian, good job making your bed, man. Chicks dig that. So they like your guy.
Yep.
Bring your
All right,
friends.
guys.
Come on, next week. Love you guys. Mean it. Be careful out there.
See you guys next week.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you.